let's talk then about the reality of the financial aid dollar. I hear a lot of families say, well, we got a scholarship or we got money from an institution. The reality is you don't get money. You don't get cash from a place. What the institution is saying when it awards you a scholarship or a grant is, we're just not going to charge you for the rest. So something else I want to point out here is that the role of a financial aid officer is like that of a broker. And it's important for you to think about this as a family. The financial aid officer's job is to try to maximize the revenue per student in each entering class. And that's why it's the financial aid officer who says, how much can the family afford? What's the federal eligibility, et cetera, et cetera. So in effect, the financial aid is a mechanism used by the colleges to help families find sources of cash in the student's name that will come to the institution.
Interesting. And there's something that I want to go back to based on what you just said, because I think it's really important. We often hear that students won scholarships or, quote, got money from colleges. It sounds like that isn't really the case, as money doesn't change hands from the college to the student.
That's right, because when you hear we got money, it's almost like you've got cash to spend, and you really don't have any of that at all. The only money that might actually come to the student is money that the student might earn in a work-study opportunity, the walking around cash that they have. So it's not a large denomination, but you're absolutely right. The institutions don't give you cash. You hear about students winning athletic scholarships or getting athletic scholarships, and they'll say, wow, that's pretty cool. What they're really getting is the value of an education at no cost to them.
Got it. Got it. So, if the family is the first source responsible for college funding, how can it find out the amount of money it's supposed to come up with?
Well, there are a number of possibilities here, and I want to draw the listener's attention to two of them. The first source or the first methodology that's used to determine the family's expected family contribution is the FAFSA. It's the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. This is a federal document. It is connected to the family or married up with the family's IRS return. And the FAFSA completion opportunity opened on October 1st of this fall and will continue through the rest of the enrollment process. So starting last week, families were able to complete the FAFSA online using their IRS return from 2019. And many in the business will call it the prior year. So if you're thinking, well, how can I complete my FAFSA using an IRS return when I don't even know what my 2020 looks like yet? That's fine. The government changed the protocol a number of years ago to go to the prior year. So for students applying to college this coming to start in the fall of 2021, the tax return that will be in use here is the return for 2019. The College Scholarship Service profile is another form that is used by many private institutions to also come to some conclusion about what the family's expected contribution is. That is also available for completion now. And it's important to complete either or both of these as soon as possible. The FAFSA will be used by every school in the country to determine eligibility for federal assistance coming to them from the student's name. State universities will use the FAFSA almost exclusively to determine the eligibility of the student for assistance from the state. The College Scholarship Service is used primarily by private colleges and universities. So the important thing is get on it sooner than later. Don't wait until later in the process to complete the forms.